Howdy, and welcome to LeeReads, where I talk about the books I've been reading and enjoying lately. Or, in the case of today's video, where I talk about my reading journal and also some goals that I have for this year. I am doing something new this year. I'm keeping a reading journal. My hope is that as I read, if I write down my thoughts while I'm reading, it will help me to slow down and savor the books because I am trying to be more intentional with what I pick up. Another thing I thought would be fun to keep track of in this journal is a calendar of books that I'm excited for, kind of like a release calendar, a list of my e-arcs, some of my ongoing series and backlist projects, and I want to keep track of how much I spend on books this year, whether digital or in physical copies. I do have a standing line item in my budget for books, but to be honest, I haven't totaled up how much money I have spent on books annually, and I think it'll also help motivate me to read the books that I own. I thought you might be interested to kind of go through those goals, anticipated releases, etc. with me as I show you through my reading journal. I did attempt to decorate this reading journal with like stickers, and I like it, but that is not my style of art and creativity. Like, I've never been an illustrator, drawer type person. It's not going to be a piece of art, but I think it's functional and I'm using it, which is the important thing. So now we're going to zoom in on the book and take you through it. This is a pretty inexpensive journal that I found at Half Price Books for a couple of dollars. And I just wanted to have some fun making it pretty with stickers that I ordered off of Etsy. I'm not using the table of contents currently, but maybe I will in the future. My first page here, as far as the aesthetics of it, I think it'll look a lot better once I fill in all of the books, but this is supposed to be a tracker for the books that I have finished, and it's somewhat color-coded if I did it in physical copy, ebook, audio, or a library book. So you can see that I've already been filling in some titles from what I read in January, and here's my first February read, but I haven't colored it in yet. My goal is to read 75 books. I believe that's what I set my goal is. This spread is one that I'll be referencing a lot. It's my release calendar, broken up by months. I apologize if you can't read all of the text. You can see that there are books coming out that I'm excited for almost every single month this year. I don't have anything forthcoming in March yet, nor in December. I'm sure that throughout the year that will change as I learn about more and more. One thing I still need to do is go back and annotate which of these I have advanced reading copies of so that I can mark that I need to read them in advance of the books coming out. But there's a lot of fun things coming out this year. I have not pre-ordered all of these. I don't even know for sure if I will read all these right away, but there'll be ones that I'll at least be looking for at the library. And I just really like the shimmery washi tape here and the solar theme. When it comes to other lists, I'm tracking the series that I have in progress. We have Orkosican Saga, Crown of Stars, Diviners, The Sun Eater, All Souls, Stormlight Archive, Expeditionary Force, The Light Isles duology, the Talon duology, and Blackland's Bane. And here is a list of my e-arcs with the months that they're coming out. So I just finished Grave Empire. Once I finish my review for that, I will check it off the list. And as I get approved for more books, I'll add them to the list. My goal is to read them, and I am going to keep track of how much I spend on reading this year when it comes to ebooks and physical books. I figured out that what I want to do is just total up by month, but in pencil here, throughout the month, I will put down purchases. Once the month is complete, I'll tally them up, erase the pencil, and just put down the total. In January, you can see that I went a little bit wild. I was also purchasing some books for some reading projects that I want to do. Looking at that number really wants to make me focus on my owned TBR. So what are the goals that I have this year? I want to read all of the e-arcs that I'm lucky enough to get approved for. I want to read 20 physical books from my TBR. Right now, my owned unread TBR, or my owned TBR, is not that bad. It's about 30 books or so. And this goal is just for me to be conscious of not just buying a book because of hype, but to buy a book that I'm very interested in and then to actually read it. Another thing I'd like to do is expand my reading by including more classics in what I read, and I thought this year I want to focus on American classics. My current ideas for this are Moby Dick, Gone with the Wind, Flowers for Algernon, and David Copperfield, which I have purchased. But other books I am considering are Lonesome Dove and Kindred. Another goal is to do a book club, is to read a book with a book club or do a read-along with it, which I actually did in January, and to read 75 books, as I mentioned. And then another list I'd like to keep track of is my backlist books. Who am I really trying to catch up on? Mercedes Lackey, The Valdemar World, Martha Wells, Lisa Kleypas, who does historical romance, Louis McMaster Bujold, both with the Vorkoskin saga, but also her Penric and Desdemona series that I've purchased some books to get started on. Then we go into my reading thoughts. These are my thoughts from January, and I've made my page for February. I have finished Grave Empire, but I haven't sat down to write about it yet. That was an e-arc that I had, so I also need to do a review for that, so I'll probably do them together. And then I've started some other books, but I haven't jotted down notes yet. I need to get better in the habit of not waiting till I finish reading to write down my thoughts. I mean, that wasn't the point, but yeah. So we have a lot of room in here for more reading thoughts, and we'll see if I enjoy doing this throughout the year. I do like it so far, and I've had a good time with some of these stickers and trying to decorate it and make it look pretty. So yeah, that's my little reading journal. Are you keeping something like this? Do you have a place where you write down your thoughts, or do you primarily use something like Goodreads or Storygraph to keep track of what you've read? Let me know. I'm really curious about how you do it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, don't forget to support your local library. Thanks. Bye.